Hello, everyone. I'm Roger Haskett. We're talking people in a pandemic. So we've been talking about, way back, we talked about Fight to Be Positive, which led us to talking about gratefuls, which led us to talking about self-care and the oxygen mask on the airplane metaphor, where you have to help yourself first before you can help others, which led us to talking about seeking out joy in a variety of ways and then becoming the joy in other people. So now what I want to talk about, so this is really Seek Out Joy Part 4, and really what I want to talk about today is play, is the power of play. I can't believe it's taken me so long to get to this topic. I have so many things here that I'm like, oh, we got to talk about this, or we got to talk about this. And the power of play is the second talk I wrote. It's one of the my strongest forces in my life has been the power of play. My life is demonstration of what the power of play can do, and as a demonstration of what the power of play can't do, because there are many times when I've turned away from the power of play, when I've got lost myself, when I've been down a deep dark hole and am in a fog of what am I supposed to be doing here, and uncertain and unclear, and where I've lost the guiding light of play, only to find it later and be like, what was I thinking? Why didn't I do that before? I talked about this in a previous video about how we have to relearn. We have to remember again the rules that have been so powerful in our life, that we've used for so many amazing things. And then to find out, like, all of a sudden, 6 months later, or like 6 weeks later, or a year and a half later, that you go, wow, the last little while has been really hard because I sort of forgot that I use this principle to help me solve problems. So the principle of the power of play, the idea of the power of play is that I believe that, I'm on a mission to take play out of the gutter and put it into the spotlight where it belongs. Because while we say that we honor play, the proof is in our actions. And when important things need to be done, play is sent outside to the playground with all the other play people, where they can, go and play and have little bits of fun, while the adults stay inside where the important things need to be decided and done. Well, I want to turn that on its head. It's not just me, thankfully, it's neuroscience. Thankfully, we're waking up to the power of play in our life. We're, as humans, one of the strongest powers, one of the powers that is driven deep into our DNA, it's part of our DNA, is the power of play. One of the things that we have that separates our species from other species is the ability to pretend. This is what Aristotle talked about. He believed that we are born with the ability to pretend. This is where's that book? Oh, here. This is one of the best books I've read in the last 10 years as well. So here's one, Sapiens. I would recommend everyone read Sapiens, holy cow. And I would recommend everyone read this, The Happiness Advantage. Holy cow, those are amazing books. Oh, I'm stuck now with my back to you guys. All right, so back to the power of play, back to all of this. The happiness advantage hints at it as well, that there's an advantage to being happy. Sapiens talks about how one of the things that makes us human is that we have a shared imagined cultural reality, that we can imagine these things together that aren't really true, but that we believe are true. Well, to me, that type of imagined reality is very close to the idea of play. So, the power of play, seek out joy. What we're talking, try not to touch my face. What we're talking about is how to seek out joy using the power of play. And what I talked about the last series of videos was how I'm a homing missile for joy. How the moment I start to hear joy around me, I start to move away from whatever I'm working on, and I start to move towards the sound of joy. That is, unless I'm in a really lousy mood. If I'm in a really lousy mood, strangely, maybe not so strangely as humans, I turn away from the things that I know are true and powerful. So when I'm in a really lousy mood, it's hard for me to reach for the power of play, even though that's exactly the thing I need to reach for to get out of this really dark mood I'm in, right? Let's say that again. The exact thing that I need to help me climb out of this mood that I'm in, the crappy mood that I'm in, is the exact thing that I turn away from when I'm in that mood. Right? Humans, we're so wonderful, aren't we? Oh, good grief. So in terms of, I'm already late, so I'm just going to end this here. So in terms of the power play, we want to be thinking about how to pull play into our lives more and more and more. More and more and more and more and more. Man, I don't think I've ever heard anyone say on their deathbed, I just had too much play in my life. Wow, just too much play. I had just so much fun. I had so much enjoyment. Life was just too powerful. I don't think many people say that. I sure hope that I can say on my deathbed that I learned to play more and more as that I clearly came into this world knowing how to play. But like most adults, we forget at a certain point. We forget how to play. We forget how to tie back into that massively powerful reality that play can give us, this massive boost of power. We somehow forget that, and we limit it to things that aren't, like where our social life, where we go and do things that are just for fun, as opposed to we're doing stuff that for fun because it's the most important thing. It's one of the most important things to have in our life. When I look at the people who are leaders that I never want to lead me, and I look at their faces and their bodies, I look at people for whom play is such a distant memory that they don't even probably remember how to spell it. Right? Like I see leaders like that and I go, man, those are not the people to be leading us. So I moved into politics. I believe politics and life are so intertwined. Politics is power. And I believe in power. I'm a fan of finding out how to create internal power in ourselves, right? I want more internal power in me and other people in the world because that's how we stand up and change the world. That's how we stand up and change the world. So I'm talking about the power play. I'm talking about how to use that to be the me you want to be, how to use that in a pandemic to seek out joy and to bring more joy into our lives, and then therefore allow ourselves to become the joy for other people so that we can fight to be powerful, so that we can use gratefuls. All of these things are ways of creating power right now in our lives, whether we're in a pandemic or not, and we want power in our lives. Let's end with a grateful. I'm grateful I've had subscribers, and I'm grateful that so many people have seen my videos. It's only been a couple of weeks and we're already up to 700 and something views. That's exciting to me. But what's exciting to me is that it's on the way to get somewhere super exciting. So I'm grateful for that. Another thing I'm grateful for, of course, are all the people who are out there on the front lines working in spite of needing to self-isolate. They're out there working. I'm not very grateful for the people who are not self-isolating. In my family, we practice ungratefuls as well. My daughter said a perfect one yesterday at the dinner table. She said, I'm ungrateful that school's over now because I really miss my friends. That's a good thing to be ungrateful for, I think. I'm Roger Haskett. We're talking about seek out joy, fight to be positive, the power of play. We're talking about how to bring energy and power into your life so that you can be the person to provide energy and power to the people that you care about. Don't forget to reach out and become the joy for other people as they're self-isolating too. And don't forget to self-care for yourself. Bring the joy into your life. Be a homing missile for joy. I'm Roger Haskett.